after the first day, if you can lift your head up off the pillow without having to pick your head up, you're fortunate. Just 3 or 4 hours in the ring the first day. But, a lot of these guys realize this, I have to do this crap every night to myself.
What has helped you the most in terms of like alleviation of pain or bringing back your movement? Like what has helped you the most?
Well, I don't have the movement back. I've a real hard time, just doing normal things. I can't.
From the back being fused?
Yeah, the back and
how many discs are fused?
Everything's fused.
The whole back.
I've had 10 back surgeries, but the thing is, my knees and my hips are so old now because I had the left knee scoped 3 or 4 times, the right knee scoped 3 or 4 times, then I had them replaced. Then I had the hips replaced, and they're all over 20 years old.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like they said, oh, you can't wrestle with a knee replacement. I was wrestling with 2 knees and a hip replacement. At WrestleMania 18, I was dragging the Rock around the ring for a half hour.
Yeah, you can actually do that now with hip replacement. John Wayne Parr had an MMA fight after he had actually I think it was a Muay Thai fight after he had a hip replacement.
Yeah, the knees are tougher, brother. The knees are
knees
hard
are tougher.
to get by. Yeah, but
they're doing them now to the point where people can go back to engaging in athletics, and I'm wondering, I wonder if they're going to get to the point where these things are like a permanent thing, because they say you're about 20 years. Is that what they say?
Well, they told me about 15 with the ones I got.
15?
But,
I think now they're saying with some of them 20, but it's like, man, that means like you've got an hourglass in your head counting down to 20 years where you're going to have to go through that shit again. Like every operation I've ever had, and I've only had a few, the thing about the recovery's a bitch. Yeah. It's like a long time for your body to get used to being, first of all, put under, and then if you have something major like an ACL reconstruction or something like that, like you're fucked for months. For months.
Yeah, I've had some close calls and some rough ones, man. I mean, they all weren't just cookie cutter surgeries. I've had some major issues go down. So,
have you done stem cells?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Well, I called Mel Gibson after seeing him on here.
Ah, yeah.
And Mel.
So you went with Dr. Neil Reardon down in Panama?
Yeah.
I sent my mom down there a couple times.
Yeah, and I'd already had several experiences before.
Yeah.
With stem cells, and they just didn't. I don't know how to explain it. I'm different. My body's different. There's been so much craziness.
It just didn't do enough?
Well, I went down there to Panama for 3 days. They hook you up IV-wise, and then locally they blast you all over the place, neck, shoulders, everywhere. And after 3 days, they would call me like 2 weeks later and say, hey, so I feel the same. Then a month later they call me, feel the same. Then like 3 months later call me, nothing. So I didn't get anything from it.
I wonder if your body's so beat up that it's just bone on bone everywhere and there's nothing that can be done.
There's so much to heal that it's not even getting to the big things because it's,
I wonder what it would be like if that shit was in America and if they gave, because right now there are stem cells that are available in America, but it's limited and it's a different situation. Like that's why I always encourage people to go to like Panama or Colombia, or Tijuana has a great place too, but if that was legal in America, I wonder if someone like you could be able to go and just do that like once a week.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And maybe it
awesome.
Can fix you. Like maybe it's just a dosage and time thing.
That was my first thought. If this is what normal people do, whack this stuff once every 3 months, I need it once a week. That was the first thing I thought.
I wonder, it really sucks that because I haven't seen anything negative about the use of stem cells. So I'm just really frustrated that it's illegal in the United States and that all these people are getting great results. I know so many athletes that have gotten problems fixed through stem cells, and most of them have done it in either Colombia or Tijuana.
Yeah. And
it's kind of a bummer because if we could do that to people like yourself, like it's conceivable that you could really heal somebody. Like they're doing some amazing stuff where they're shooting it into discs and they're creating new disc tissue. Like if they can do that to people and people can avoid getting fused.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my God. It's such a bummer that it's so restricted because I don't see the danger to it when you consider it in comparison to the danger against some things like opiates, which are legal.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why are you restricting this? Like, this seems like I had a full-length rotator cuff tear disappear. Just went away
That's
from
crazy.
stem cells. 6 months later, I get an MRI. He's like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. He's like, it's gone.
Same. They were going to give me neck surgery.
Yeah.
Constant pain in my shoulder. I thought my shoulder was completely torn out. Got an MRI. They said it was discs at the base of my neck and just all the nerves. It just felt like my shoulder, which is crazy because I literally wanted to cut my arm off. Like if it was the 1600s or whatever, I was like, this pain sucks. Cut it off, and then I still would have had it. But they did it. They said up to 60 days. You might feel better immediately. It might be in 60 days. And day 59, it was like someone flipped a switch. Ways to well.
Yeah, dude, you were always like sitting in the green room, like holding your neck. You were always doing that.
During Kill Tony, trying to listen to people, I'd have to sit on my own legs if I sat flat on my butt for some reason. So I'd have to like sit like this and listen and pay attention and try to be funny. It was a nightmare. I couldn't sit on my butt. And you forget. I would forget. So like there's a bar stool there. For some reason, bar stools were the worst.
Yeah.
Different than the 90-degree angle of a chair, kind of. Like,
so it's like a very specific angle you have to hold your head or it hurts.
You'd have to like hold your hip to a side or something.
Wow.
Because if the weight was straight down, it was just.
All I know, the longer you're hurt, the more it changes. I remember I couldn't sit in a chair, for the longest time. And then I couldn't drive a car, which of course is sitting in a chair. And then my biggest thing was when I'd go upstairs and I'd look at my bed, my mindset was, I dread laying down because I know when I lay down, it's going to hurt so bad and I'm probably going to wake up with an injury. I'd go to bed and wake up hurt. It's like, how does this happen? But, all that being said, the body's an amazing thing. And with all the metal and all the abdominal surgeries and the shoulder surgeries and all this stuff that's happened to me, the upside is, bro, I'm living a good life. I'm happy.